We're living on a disk, floating through space, with a tiny sun.
Hey, I'm FTFE, welcome back to the channel that does to stupidity what celestial navigation does to Mitchell from Australia's Flat Earth School. If you have not seen the video that I released about 6 hours ago, then you probably should, because basically it murders Flat Earth. I am in hiding. They're looking for me because I literally committed a murder earlier. Which is probably not a good idea because I've got no curtains on my windows right now. I had all my windows and doors in the house replaced, so please excuse the mess in my front room. Right, we are here tonight to once again talk with Kevin. Spoken to Kevin twice already, and today I specifically asked him, because last time we spoke, I started showing evidence of Earth's rotation, and when I asked him to respond to it, he said, well, the Earth doesn't move. So he's made a very positive claim. So I specifically asked today for Kevin to bring evidence of the Earth being stationary and gravity not being real. So I'm very much excited, very, very excited, very much looking forward to this because, you know, 600 debates in and that's never been presented before. So Kevin, welcome back. How are you doing?
Hey, hi, Craig.
Welcome back. Thanks.
I just want to say last time when I watched the video and when you were giving your example of the car in the roundabout, I looked like a moron and I didn't understand, but I just spaced out. I wasn't listening. And yes, I asked you to repeat and I wasn't listening the second time. And when I watched the video, I said, oh, I spaced out. You got to understand English. It's not my first language. And when it's Friday night like that, I'm coming back from work, from a hard week of work. I send you a picture today. I work in the snow all day. Yesterday, cold rain. You know, sometimes I can't.
So you understand my point that even though the speedometer will be showing, say 30 miles an hour, not all of that car will be going 30 miles an hour. That was kind of my point in that example.
Inside of the car, you were right about that.
Yeah.
The
That's why cars have something. That's why cars have something called a differential, which is designed to deal with the difference in speed between wheels going around corners and stuff. Because obviously, if you're turning to the left, the inside wheel will be going slower than the outside wheel. So cars have differentials as part of their drive shaft and everything to cope with that difference. So that was my point there. I'm glad that you understood my point. But
I understood. But it's the surface that we were calculating. Where the tangential meet the circle line. Like I sent you the picture.
Yeah.
And that's where when you point the radar, that's where you register the speed. That's what I mean.
Yeah, but like my point, depending on what point of the car, that radar is pointed at, you would get a slightly different speed. You know, unless it was pointed at exactly the middle of that car, you're not going to get the same speed that the speedometer is reading. And that is my point with the whole describing a spinning motion in a linear unit like miles per hour or meters per second or something, is that it doesn't make sense as a whole.
What you're saying, because we can make that experiment very easily. What you're saying, if a car goes 40 miles per hour, for example, in a curve, and you register the speed at you register the speed. If you register the speed, it's not going to register at 40, even if it's marked 40.
Yeah, unless you're hitting like the dead center of the car. You know, like the example said, the inside of the car will have a slower tangential speed than the outside of the car. You know, compared to the middle of the So if you take that, if it's sensitive enough, that radar gun, and you point it at the middle of that car, you're going to get the same as what the speedometer says. But if you point it at the outside of that car, you're actually going to get a higher tangential speed reading on that radar than you would get if you pointed it at the middle of the car. That makes sense actually. But the thing is, the speed that interested us anyway, is the outside speed of the car, that not the speedometer in the car. I don't really care about it. I want the speed of the surface of the ball. Yeah, okay. And
you understand?
So the tangential speed of the surface of Earth at the equator is about 1,040 miles an hour. You know, that's just a fact. Everything, including the atmosphere, at that point is moving at 1,040 miles an hour. And that brings us to the entire point of this conversation, is evidence for that claim. All right? I can present measurements, I can present experiments and all sorts that show that the Earth is rotating the way that we say it is.
But again, just like last time when I said, oh, I won the debate, you just admitted that you can calculate in mile per hour. Anyway,
a tangential speed is the point,
You know.
One sec, the stream just dropped a second. So of course, everything has a tangential velocity as well as a radial velocity, and they're scary big numbers, but those numbers are verified because we can measure the movement of the Earth. So let's move aside from the fact that it sounds like big scary numbers and actually focus on evidence of the claim, right? And your specific claim last time was that the Earth doesn't move. So what evidence can you present to back that up?
Well, that's another thing. The other day, I wasn't prepared. I said, well, it doesn't move. And it sounded moronic, but for someone who understood, and I may say accept the flat Earth model, it's as obvious as that. Well, do you have evidence that it doesn't rotate? It doesn't move. Okay, you go outside and picture yourself born in a place alone, where you have plenty of food and you never had problems feeding yourself. No one taught you anything. Would you imagine by yourself the heliocentric model? If you say yes, it's a lie. Of course not. Okay. We all see
the observations that you can make in reality would suggest that we're on a rotating globe.
Yeah. A rotating globe. Yeah.
Yeah. It's quite easy to determine that from observations in reality.
What?
It's quite easy to determine that from observations in reality. There's many things that you can do in reality that would give us the impression that we are on something that is in fact rotating. The way that weather behaves, the way that seasons behave, the way that the stars change their position relative to us, the way that we can calculate the angle of stars based on a position, right? And this is something in a video that I just covered, right? You know what? Let me. No, there's no point playing it. Right. So let's imagine that we are at a point on Earth where Polaris is directly above us. All right. That you'd be roughly standing at the North Pole. All right. So you're at the North Pole. Polaris is directly above your head. Now, for every 69.1 miles that you move away from the North Pole, the height of Polaris in the sky at the angular elevation drops by 1 degree, right? So when you're at Polaris, when you're at the North Pole, Polaris is 90 degrees above you. You move away 69.1 degrees, and Polaris is now at 89 degrees, 69.1 miles, and Polaris is now at 89 degrees. You move to 138.2 miles, and Polaris is now at 88 degrees, right? You go to 1,725 miles, and Polaris is now at 75 degrees. Now, that, on a flat Earth, gives us a right-angled triangle and would allow us to calculate the height of Polaris. But when you do the math with trigonometry, you take the angle of the elevation and the adjacent, which is the distance away, you can calculate the opposite, which would be the height of Polaris. Now, the problem is that when you do that based on the flat Earth, that you find that Polaris actually drops in the sky, depending on where you are. When you do the calculations for 89 degrees, it's 1,965 miles, 3,965 miles up. When you do it for 88 degrees, it's dropped by 1 mile. When you go to 75 degrees, it's now 3,699. It's changed position. So looking at the way that the stars work and what they are relative to us, we can determine that the Earth definitely isn't flat because it matches a sphere.
Craig, if you were born alone with no one telling you anything, you wouldn't even know that Polaris is situated right above the North Pole.
Okay, well, it's lucky that I wasn't born alone with no one to help me learn things, right? But
yeah,
that is how reality works. And just because one person might... Yeah, but just because one person might have a very limited...
I was getting somewhere.
Right, sorry, go on.
I was getting somewhere. I got interrupted. You got into your speech.
All right,
so
sorry,
now
all right.
Can I go back to... Okay.
Yeah,
so
go ahead.
I was saying if you were born in a place, okay, and no one taught you anything, I believe, okay, if you're honest with yourself and you look at the Earth, we all see the Earth flat. Okay, we all see it. It's not true that you go and you look at the prairies. Okay, I cross Canada by land. It's prairies all the way. You see that the Earth is flat. As a young child, before I was going to school, I remember telling my mom that already told me that the Earth was wrong. Telling my mom, "Are you sure, Mom? The Earth is wrong. It looks flat." And she tells me the usual narrative, like, "Oh, it's so big, you can't see the curve." Yeah, but you stop asking questions, like you just it goes in a drawer, in your brain, like it's a known fact. Earth is wrong.
You're just making assumptions. That's not how it works. Okay, I don't just take it and put it in a drawer. It's not true. Okay, right. So carry on. Okay. You're kind of soapboxing, but.
But now we are not born with no education, and our parents told us the same thing. We were all born globe earthers. Okay, we all taught the same thing.
Yeah, because we're on a globe, yes.
And we put that in the drawer of non-fact. But there was always something odd, and I always remember that when I told my mom, "Are you sure?" And another thing, it was about the star. Even before I was into flat Earth, it was always odd for me, the stars, because they say they're so far away. What's the distance of Polaris from the official narrative? The distance of
Polaris is a long. I'm not sure the exact distance to Polaris. I think it's several thousand light years. I might be wrong.
It's in light years, right?
Yeah, obviously the closest star to us, apart from the sun, is about 4.2 light years away. That's Proxima.
Okay, So that's the thing. And they say, okay, the light we're looking at, it's not happening right now. It's in the past.
Correct.
Because it takes so much time to, and that's what I thought it was odd. Because you look in the sky and the stars are there. And you know,
okay.
When I got into flat Earth, at some point I decided to buy a P900, okay? I wanted to make the test over a large body of water, but I never went there. But I did look at the stars and moon and sun, okay? And you can say I'm out of focus all you want, but when I look at the moon, I can focus pretty much close on it. It's on my screen like that, okay?
Yeah.
And just like I can zoom on the building from the Montreal.
Okay.
The moon is not that far away. There's no way.
It's about quarter of a million miles away.
P900. What?
It's about quarter of a million miles away, and it's really, really big.
Yeah. Anyway,
you can measure that with radar.
Have you ever zoomed on it?
Yeah,
Okay.
several times
And
with a
when you
telescope,
zoom on-
actually.
when-
In fact,
when you
I
zoom
did
on
better
the
than that. I
stars-
bounced the laser off of it.
But when you zoom on the stars, Craig, the video we see on YouTube, and people say, "Oh, it's out of focus."
Yeah,
Not
it
out
is
of
out of
focus.
focus. There's several that show it in focus
like-
that are fine.
Well, how come I can focus on the moon really detailed and professional
isn't the
zoom,
star?
like you can see everything, and
Yeah.
when I zoom on the star,
Yeah,
I'm
Kevin,
out of
right,
focus
okay.
all of a sudden.
So right, let's you've said so much there that's nonsense, right? The first thing that you were going on about is that if I was just out on my own with no knowledge, I would think the Earth is flat. I fundamentally disagree with that. There is a horizon, therefore the Earth is not flat. The horizon is an effect of the curve of the Earth. There is no reason to have a horizon if the Earth was flat. So I would fundamentally disagree with your assertion that I would just think it's flat. No, absolutely, I would not. The distance to stars have been confirmed. Parallax measurements are quite easy to do. You can use decent equipment that's not a terrible camera like a P900, maybe a telescope, and actually look at the stars. And, you know, they don't look like out of focus discs, right? But none of this is evidence of the Earth being stationary and gravity not being real. Those were two claims that you made very specifically, right? I can show measurements that the Earth is rotating. All right, do you have anything that could be considered evidence beyond your own personal incredulity that could demonstrate the Earth is in fact stationary?
Well, actually, I won't bring anything new. Like, I think everything that's been said, and I won't make a breakthrough and I have the new argument. But the other argument that you hear, and it's the instinct to, it's instinctive. When you go outside, do you have the feeling that it moves, or you have the feeling that it's the sky that moves? Like, you know, the Big Dipper. Okay, I'm not a star expert, but everyone can spot the Big Dipper. Okay, we always see it, and I believe. Okay, I saw it in a meme, and I didn't research it if it was real, but it made sense. Like, I believe the Great Dipper is the origin of the swastika, because in each season, when you draw a line of, you understand what I'm saying? The origin of the swastika?
Yeah, I mean, that's
Hello?
completely irrelevant to measurements of
So
rotation.
Okay, so that's the sky that moves. Okay, you say it's the Earth that spins, it's not the sky. But with all what are the stars according to the heliocentric model? Are they all suns? Because
yes,
that's what I heard.
That's exactly what
Yeah,
they're big
suns
balls of nuclear
with
fusion.
their-
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. With their own solar system, planets and all the moons. Yeah.
Yeah,
And they
we've
all
seen
have-
pretty much all
they-
the stars
they
that we've
all have
managed
their-
to see have planets orbiting them. Yes.
So every star is a sun and has the same motion of rotating and shooting from the Big Bang. Is that right?
Every star is a sun, yes, and is a product of the fact that there was a Big Bang, but the Big Bang's irrelevant to the conversation about, motion of the Earth.
Okay, you don't believe in the Big Bang?
No, I absolutely believe in the Big Bang. I don't really have beliefs. Evidence suggests the Big Bang absolutely happened. I would wager that you don't even know what the Big Bang is, but none of that is relevant to the fact that we can measure the Earth's rotation. One thing you said there. Wait. One thing you said there was that we don't feel the Earth move. We feel the stars move. I definitely don't feel the stars move. And there's no reason we should feel the Earth move because we don't feel, constant acceleration.
I didn't talk about feeling.
You literally said we feel the Earth, the stars move. Those were your exact words.
Well, I was not.
Anyway,
it
appears your neighbor
Craig,
has joined the call.
Just a second. Hey, Craig, just a second.
Yeah.
If I said feeling, I wasn't saying about feeling like, ooh, it moved. I was saying like, do you have the feeling, the sensation?
What we observe. Yeah, no, my observations would suggest that we are moving and not the stars because it doesn't match reality to suggest the stars are moving.
Okay.
Right. So anyway, your neighbor has joined.
Let me go on. My neighbor is there?
Yes, he has joined the call. I've hidden his camera.
Oh, yeah.
So he's not on. So it's just me and you on the screen. Okay. So does your neighbor have any evidence that the Earth doesn't rotate, or?
Well, it wasn't about that because
that's specifically what this stream is about.
No, my neighbor is here to say if you can measure the rotation, in mile per hour. That's what it was about. He's only there for that. And I told him, because he does peer reviews, and yesterday he told me something about the peer review, and I told you in messages that it was gold, and I'd like him to repeat what he says about all
of that's kind of irrelevant. You cannot measure rotation in miles per hour. You measure rotation in a rotational unit. Miles per hour is a linear velocity. That only measures the tangential speed of a certain point on something that is rotating. So you cannot measure the rotation. Like, for instance, if I was to get a ball, I don't have one at hand, and just spin the ball, you could not measure the rotation of the ball that's spinning in miles per hour. You can calculate at any point on that ball a tangential velocity, but it will be different for every point. So you cannot measure rotation in miles per hour. That is a fact.
That's exactly where we disagree. So Pat, what do you think about this? First of all, tell us who you are and what are your degrees?
Well, I'm a scientist, and it's true about the tangential speed.
Yes, it is. You're right. Yeah,
your
absolutely.
friends say calculate and measure. What's the difference for you?
Well, you can't measure a rotation in miles per hour. You can't describe a rotation in miles per hour, but you can calculate a tangential speed at different points on something that is rotating. But you cannot describe. You cannot describe or measure a rotation of an entire object in a linear unit. That's correct. Yes.
Yeah. I agree with what he say. It's like at one point on the tangent, there's a speed there. You can calculate it. For 1 point. Yes.
Yes.
Voila.
Yeah, that's exactly what I've been saying to him. That you can't, but but you like I was saying to Kevin just now, you couldn't take a ball and spin that ball and just say that ball is spinning in X miles per hour, because that's not correct. It wouldn't describe the entire spin of the ball.
The point you're talking about.
Yes.
It's point on the tangent.
Like the pencil on the turntable.
Yes,
like the pencil on the turntable.
Correct? Yeah, and I've agreed with that, and I've said to Kevin several times that yes, at every single point you can calculate a tangential velocity, but it is just wrong to say that you can measure rotation in miles per hour because that's not a rotational unit. You can calculate a tangent velocity, a tangential speed at any point, but because that is a tangential speed, which is by definition a straight line path, it does not describe rotation.
It's the tangent at point.
Yeah. So Would you agree with me
object
to
is
say
moving.
sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt there. The connection dropped out. Would you agree with me that it is wrong to say the Earth spins at 1,048 miles an hour?
At the equator.
At the what?
Like I described to Kevin since the beginning, we were talking always about one point at the tangent. And that point we can measure its displacement, its movement.
Exactly
Yes.
like I told you.
The way your friend is saying it, I agree with what he said. It's 1 point on the
Yeah,
tangent.
thank you. So you agree with me, and this is what I've been trying to explain to Kevin
Yeah.
all along.
This is
That
what I
that
described
is
to
a
Kevin.
tangential speed. You know, which so if I was to explain it to Kevin here quickly,
But it's technical. It's
Yeah.
mathematics. Kevin
Yeah,
might
so-
not understand that.
so this has, you know, imagine this is spinning, right? You could calculate a point as it's so on the rim here. You could calculate the tangential speed, but the tangential speed, say it was rotating like, you know, that way, the tangential speed would be going off in that distance, all right? The tangential speed doesn't then follow it down. The tangential speed you are calculating at a single point calculates a straight line path away from the curve. The curve, the bit that's actually
Yes.
rotating, you would say that rotates at, you know, 1 revolution per minute or whatever, correct?
Yes, it gives a tangential speed at 1 point.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
All right, and that is what I've been trying to say to Kevin all along. Is Kevin's?
I think it's technical because Kevin understands about the point.
Yeah,
Maybe he just confused all the whole. He's not a scientist.
I understand that. Yes,
That when
definitely.
you spin a disc, the point has a speed,
Yeah,
but he could not maybe
Exactly.
describe it the same way.
yeah. And would
we
you
agree.
also? I agree. Yes. And would you also agree with me that it is not the tangential speed that imparts forces like, you know, centrifugal acceleration? That is to do with the rotational speed and the radius away from the center. Is that correct?
Yes.
Thank you very much.
You have to take into account the radius.
Yeah. So, for instance, if we were on a, let's just do a thought experiment for a second. If we were on a train that was going in a straight line at 1,000 miles an hour, and it was perfectly smooth, and there was no windows, would you be able to feel that motion?
Not so much, no. Because usually we feel acceleration, not speed.
Absolutely, yes. But let's assume that there is no acceleration. It's a completely constant 1,000 miles an hour. There's no up and down. I mean, this doesn't happen, but it's just a thought experiment.
Probably it would be a smooth walk in the hallway.
Yeah, yeah. You wouldn't be able to tell the difference between moving or not moving in that circumstance. Is that right?
No.
Right.
No,
Thank you
need
very
the
much.
acceleration.
Yeah.
The
So
speed, you get used to it, and
Yes.
you're moving at the same speed than the train.
yeah.
So there's no way, no reason to
Yeah.
feel anything.
And the same
Just
would
like
apply
if
if
the
that train was
were-
going 10,000 miles an hour, right?
Pardon me?
The same would apply if it was a constant velocity of
Yes.
10,000 miles an hour. It really
Yeah.
wouldn't matter
Yeah.
until we maybe got to relativistic speeds, but that's a separate
You need to
conversation.
accelerate or decelerate.
Yeah, yeah, you would only feel the change in that. So
Or
the
take
issue
a
is
curve
that...
and then feel the force.
Yeah, I think the problem is, and I would just like your help with this, because maybe you can explain it to Kevin better in your native French tongue. I think the problem is that Kevin sees the big number of 1,038 miles an hour and associates that with, oh, we should be feeling that massive motion. Whereas that's...
No, I never said that. I've never said that.
No?
Maybe you're taking up other flat earthers, but I've never talked about, oh, you don't feel the motion. I was just talking about, well, there's a new thing that's going around about you can't say it spins at 1,038, and I still disagree. I still think I'm right, even though you said, you
I mean,
try to
your friend has
bring
literally just
my
explained
friend
that you're
on your
wrong.
side, but you still can calculate when you point the radar whether it's the little point. I was saying the grain of salt. I was literally given the example of the grain of salt. Picture the grain of salt. Is it going at a certain speed? Yes, it is. So
Yeah,
that's
okay,
what
but
it
that
is.
grain of salt would still
you
have
think
different
I'm
tangential
right?
velocities.
You think you're right? I think I'm right. So
But your
let's
friend
move
has
on.
literally
I
just
still-
explained... Kevin, hold on. Your friend has just literally explained how I'm right.
But he
Well,
didn't explain how you're right. He says you can calculate at the tangent, well, the tangential line meets the circle line, like I
Yeah,
told, like I sent you.
like I explained to you, no one has ever disagreed with that. No one has ever disagreed with that.
Et
My
voilà.
entire point with you
voilà.
was that because you
it's
kept
just
saying,
correct.
right, hold on, Kevin, one sec. My entire point with you was that in your video and your posts on Facebook, you kept saying the Earth spins at 1,048 miles an hour.
I know.
Right? And that is just
I know,
wrong.
and
that is just wrong
you
to
hate
say.
that because you're the one who made that theory. That
No,
you
again, I'm not the one that came up with it.
Because-
I'm not the one that decided
No,
that you cannot measure rotational velocity in miles per hour. As your friend just explained, that's just a thing in physics. All right? I was just the one that corrected
my
the
friend
argument on
explained-
Facebook.
Hey, my friend explained the same thing that I was explaining to you with the grain of salt. It's the same thing with the pencil on the turntable.
Well, you do understand that a grain of salt will be the same. That grain of salt, is still so and so big. Hold on, Kevin. Hold on. That grain of salt is still so big. So if that grain of salt is on something that's rotating, the inside and the outside of that grain of salt will still have a different tangential velocity.
Yes.
Well, I'm talking about the outside of the surface. Always the surface. Okay, don't.
Yeah, and no one's ever argued with that.
Surface.
But Kevin understands that in the middle of the center, at a teeny point, there's zero velocity.
It doesn't move.
And he understands that at the surface, there is like the 1,000 kilometer for one point object moving around the circle. He understands that.
Then why does he have such an issue with people saying that, well, it's not that fast, it's just one rotation per day? Because that is how you describe it.
I think you have these two, Craig, with the 1,038. You want to get rid of it. And
I don't want to get rid of it. It's a thing. It's a tangential velocity. I'm not trying to get rid of anything, Kevin. I'm saying that the Earth doesn't spin at 1,038 miles an hour. The Earth spins at 0.000694 RPM. That's it.
We'll continue after, okay? Because my neighbor didn't want to stay a long time.
Can I just say thank you very much to your neighbor? I very much appreciate you coming on. Thank you very much for your time.
I think you should conciliate together because I heard Kevin's thought. I'm hearing your thought, and actually you should just talk maybe smoothly because you're gonna end up with the same story.
Well,
because,
I've honestly been trying. I've in our Facebook conversation, I've been saying to him that I can help him understand.
I understand the point between you two, and it's true. It's the Earth spins with a rotational speed, but one point at the surface of the Earth will have a tangential speed that you can describe in miles per hour.
Yes, yeah, that's not describing the rotational speed, is it? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
The Earth goes with rotational speed, but one object surface, one point of the surface will have a tangential speed. And in the middle, a teeny object in the middle of the Earth will have a zero tangential speed. And that Kevin understands.
Yeah.
So you should just like go grab a beer and write a book about it. It was fun having.
Luckily, I am actually writing a book
tonight. So see you guys.
Well, thank you very much for your time. I really do appreciate you taking the time. And maybe you and I can help together.
Don't you want to hear about the peer reviews? What he told me last
not
night?
really. That's his personal business, and it doesn't pertain to this conversation.
Next week.
Really
next week.
Next week, he says, yes, sir.
Okay, maybe we'll do that next week. Thank you very much for your time. I do appreciate it. Right. So, now that we understand, right, I do think that there's maybe been a bit of talking past each other in this whole thing, Kevin, right? Because nobody has ever argued that you can calculate a tangential velocity at a certain point. No one has ever said that that's not a thing. And no one has ever said that... At the equator, the Earth has a tangential speed of 1,030 miles an hour. No one's ever said that's not a thing. But as your neighbor just said, hold on, let me finish my thought. As your neighbor has just said, it's wrong to describe the rotational velocity. It's wrong to say it spins in miles per hour. That is a tangential speed. All right? No one's trying to get rid of that. But when you're talking about the movement of the Earth and the forces that it would impart, that 1,038 miles an hour is actually irrelevant, until you want to talk about things like Coriolis and the difference between tangential velocities causing motion to be changed, but that's a different conversation. So this comes down to, I think we both agree that at a certain point we can calculate a tangential velocity, but that's not how fast the Earth spins. Do you agree with that?
I agree, yeah. I always agree with that. That's
right, okay.
Point.
Well, let's move forward from there then, all right? All right, let's stop going around in circles.
I just want to finish with, if you take, someone, like if I take my mom, that's not into flat Earth and round Earth, okay? And I tell her, hey, Mom, the Earth rotates at 0.0000694 RPM. She doesn't have a clue, okay?
Okay, that doesn't matter if she doesn't have a clue, though.
It rotates at 1,038 miles per hour. You're making a big deal out of it. Everybody understands.
But it's
that's
wrong.
That's why I'm saying.
But it's just,
your only goal.
It's just wrong.
Your only goal is to get rid of the number, the figure 1,038. That's my opinion.
It's not. It's not my goal to get rid of that number. But when you're talking about what we feel on Earth, that number is irrelevant, right? This comes down to the fact that it's either the Earth rotates or it doesn't. The Earth either rotates at 1 revolution per day, or it doesn't. All right. So which one?
According to the heliocentric model, the Earth needs to rotate half a rotation for America to be nighttime here and daytime here.
Yes. Yeah.
So the
and that's what happened. Yeah.
Or the tangential, or the grain of salt. Okay, it has to travel a certain speed. If it's at the equator. So the fastest speed is at the equator, so that's why we're using 1,038, the speed at the equator. Okay? When we say, it's spin at 1,038, we don't need to say at the equator because we know it's at the equator. If it's someone that's
Kevin, we've just gone through all this. We've just gone through this. The Earth doesn't spin at 1,038 miles an hour. That's tangential. As your neighbor just said, the Earth spins at 15 degrees per hour, 0.000694 RPM, all right? That's how fast it spins, right? So we've covered that. We don't need to go around in circles. So, right, the crux of this conversation comes down to two things. Either the Earth rotates once per day, or it doesn't. Which do you say?
Well, according to the heliocentric model, it does rotate once a day.
Yeah, but I'm not talking about what the heliocentric model says. What is your position? Do you say the Earth rotates once per day, or do you say it is stationary?
What I see, I believe, it's stationary. It's
right,
just
brilliant.
A question
that is your claim, right? That's your claim. And from there, the next part is for you to present evidence of that claim. So do you have evidence that the Earth is stationary? That it is not moving? Like a measurement, an experiment, anything. I've been telling you all week that this is evidence that is needed, so surely you have something.
Okay, it's my turn now?
Yes.
So right now, I'm going to finish what I wanted to finish when my neighbor came online. So it's the whole... when I got older, I got into conspiracies. The first conspiracy, I believe it was in 2009. Oh, no, true. In 2006, I downloaded Superman, and it was a mistake. It was a movie about 9/11. Okay?
No, it
and
really
that was
wasn't.
my first contact with conspiracy.
The DCEU.
What?
It was just a terrible movie with Zack Snyder attempting to start the DCEU and the collateral damage that a Kryptonian would cause fighting another Kryptonian on Earth. In fact, that entire comic was based. That entire comic was based on a comic that came. That entire movie was based on a comic that came out before 9/11. But
you don't know what you're talking about. I wanted to download Superman, and it was a mistake. The title of the file was Superman, but it wasn't Superman.
Oh, right, I see what you mean. Oh, my apologies. I thought you meant that Superman was actually a movie. My apologies.
No. Okay. So that was my first contact with conspiracy. Okay, the conspiracy theory, and then I looked at the fake moon landing in 2009, and I wasn't conspiracy, but when I got in contact with the flat Earth, I was watching a conspiracy about Jar Jar Binks being a dark.
I mean, Jar Jar Binks is 100% a fucking Sith. There's no argument about that.
Yeah,
he started the Galactic
War.
All right. Anyone who says that Jar Jar Binks is just a doofus, he was in charge of Sidious. Come on. Who's the one that voted for emergency powers? It was Jar Jar Binks, right? We're in agreement there, Kev. Yeah. Jar Jar Binks is definitely a Sith.
They decided to change the story because Jar Jar Binks was so unpopular. People didn't like him, so they changed the story. But he was supposed to be the big dark Sith of the big king Sith of the universe. But,
anyway, right? Yeah. So.
I was watching a light conspiracy of Jar Jar Binks, and back then the Flat Earth movies weren't banned on Facebook, on YouTube. So
still not, but yeah.
I got into Flat Earth, and I was told before, I'm sure you believe the Earth is flat. I was like, what? I don't believe the Earth is flat. But when I watch the movie, the Globers say, you watch YouTube. Well, we're on YouTube right now. YouTube, it's the website. Okay, it's the content that's important. There's a lot of bullshit on YouTube, but
mainly by Flat Earthers.
The Flat Earth video, I noticed that in the two there's two movie. The first movie I watched, that the narrator was saying, "Don't believe what I say. Do your research. Verify what I say." And since then, I saw like hours and hours of movie. I watched them again and again, the ones I like. And since then, that's what I'm saying about feeling when you go out. Okay, you think about the water. Just the water is the simplest example. In a glass, it's a science experiment. You take water in a glass, it's flat. You can measure it's flat. And
water in a glass is definitely not flat. Look at the side. There's a meniscus here. Water in a glass is not flat.
Yeah, I knew you were gonna say that.
So if there's a curved edge, it cannot be flat. Simple, right?
Okay, look. Well, the line in the middle. If you take a bathtub or a swimming pool, you're gonna say, because there's a little flap at the end. The line in the middle can't be flat.
The water will form an arc that matches the arc of the curve of the Earth.
Olympic-sized pool. Picture an Olympic-sized pool.
Yep, that will have a curve of about 4 or 5 millimeters.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
And but the little flap at the end, it's nothing compared to the globe you think of. So to come back at, the water, yes, it's flat.
No, it's not.
Second, it needs a container. And to me, it seems more logical, like the model, we all know the model, like Antarctica contains the water. It seems like more natural that the water's there, the water of the ocean, because most of the known Earth is water. So it just lays there, and Antarctica contains the water, as compared to the water sticking to a ball with gravity.
Right, so Antarctica is not an ice wall. Antarctica is not an ice wall at all. There's a race, a boat race that goes around Antarctica every 3 years. It's called the Van der Globe race. I've been to Antarctica and went through that ice wall to McMurdo Station. And Antarctica is certainly not an ice wall.
Whoa, hold up. You went to Antarctica?
Yeah, my boat did.
Because
my T-boat.
That's just adding to the list of accomplishment, and we'll go.
Oh yeah, this is you being incredulous about someone being successful in life, isn't it? Yeah, I was in the Navy, and the Navy go there quite often.
You want to go through that?
Well, not really. No, we're talking about evidence for the shape for the Earth rotating, and you've so far failed to provide evidence of the Earth not rotating.
You're a black belt.
Yes, in anyway, shall we go back to the topic? Right. Hey, Kevin,
Okay, and what
stop
else?
going off the topic.
You
We're going to
were
go back
pro-
on topic. Kevin,
You were
back on. Kevin,
mountain biker.
yes, yeah, I was correct. Can we
You
go back
were-
on topic now?
You were, but
Kevin,
no trace
back
of
on-
you on the internet.
Okay, I'm just going to mute you a
You were
second.
captain.
Yeah, I was captain of a couple of rugby teams. Yeah, absolutely. Anyway, I'll unmute you in 2 seconds. This entire conversation is about evidence of the Earth not rotating. You knew that was the case, so I'm going to ask you once more. Can you please present evidence that the Earth doesn't rotate as per your claim? Over to you.
Well, I was saying about the Big Dipper earlier.
What about
the Big
it?
Dipper? What?
What about the Big Dipper?
Yeah, about the Big Dipper. I believe the origin of the swastika is from the Big Dipper, right?
Yeah,
At
I don't-
every season. Yeah.
I don't think
Okay,
it's the origin of
so-
the swastika, no. But
Okay.
Yeah,
So
what-
anyway, I just realized that I already said that I was a little farther in that story. Okay. If every star of the Big Dipper is a sun and has its own path, every star is a sun, right? With its own path, and we are the solar system. Our sun is a star.
yeah.
It has a path. Yeah,
Uh-huh.
it rotates around the great attractor. Is that accepted in mainstream science now? The great attractor, because it's a new rotation, you know.
It's still, disputed. What we know is that the Earth rotates around the center of our galaxy in our solar system. But what's your
what's
point about
definitely
can you
accepted-
get to your point about the Big Dipper, please, and how that is evidence that the Earth doesn't rotate?
Yeah, I'm going to it. Okay.
Yep,
So
go on then. I'm
every
waiting.
star is a sun
Correct.
of the Big Dipper. Let's concentrate on with its own path, but they always stay the same, and it always rotates.
Yeah, it matches
over us.
what the globe says. So here's some
Yes,
of the
it
many
does.
flat earthers don't really understand is that all of the stars you can see in the night sky are relatively close to us compared to the size of the galaxy and moving around the center of the galaxy with us. Like 2 cars moving along a motorway at the same speed. They're going to be able to see each other. Those stars are
Yeah.
moving around the galaxy
more-
with us. However, they do
Well-
change position.
Okay, Craig, that theory would work. Okay, the 2 cars, I agree. You have the impression that the other car doesn't move. But now, what we've been told, and you agree with, is every star is a sun with its own path. But the
Yes,
Big
the
Dipper,
path
we
is
can
around the
see
center
it,
of the galaxy.
But with all the paths, the star would go away apart. They wouldn't be
No, they
together
wouldn't because they're
anymore.
moving in the same direction as us.
And the swastika, it's always the same
It's-
thing.
Yes,
It doesn't
because
add up,
it's something
Fred.
that all of the stars are relatively close to us and moving with us. What we see with
I
the stars in the
understand
night
that.
sky matches the globe predictions. You
But
being incredulous about what you see doesn't change that.
Your example would work if there was 2 stars. Oh, 2 stars.
It works. It
they
would
all
work
move
with
together.
many stars. All of the stars are moving at the same speed around the center of the galaxy with us.
Yeah, and with all the rotation, the speed like that, it would be a different sky all the time.
Can you provide evidence
You
of
have
that
to
claim?
realize that.
Can you provide evidence of that claim? Because the globe model says that you are wrong. All of the stars that we see do not change their relative position to us. They move with us
Look.
at the same speed around the center of the
understood
galaxy.
I understood
So
what you
if they
say,
move the
but
same
you
speed,
say
wait, I'm
it-
talking. Wait. If they move the same speed around the center of the galaxy, maintaining their relative positions to us, they will not change their apparent position in the sky very much. Okay?
You know what? I understand what you're saying. Okay.
Oh, brilliant.
But
So
you
you understand
keep
why you were
saying
wrong.
No, not at all. I understand that you didn't think about it. You
I
just
have
had
thought
your
about it many
answer
times.
already
It
ready.
matches predictions.
No, look, you're just talking. You're not thinking about it.
No, I have
gonna
thought
tell
about
you
it, Kevin,
something.
several times, and it matches the globe model predictions.
Yeah, it does.
Yes, absolutely, 100%.
No.
There's many programs that you can do to
No.
test this yourself. Nothing about what you're saying is an issue for the heliocentric model because it's what the heliocentric model presents.
It's because the rotation that we're talking about, it's not just the rotation of the planet around their sun. Okay, each star of the Big Dipper is a sun.
Yeah.
It's not just that.
We can't really see the planets. They're too small. And,
Okay, it's not just the rotation around the sun. It's the spin on themselves. So that's what changes everything.
What do you mean the spin on themselves?
Here,
Please explain what you're talking about. Just because they're rotating on their own axis
it's
still doesn't... Wait, hold on.
Yeah.
Just because they're rotating on their own axis does not mean they will change their position relative to us. Something can spin on its own axis and stay in the same relative position.
See, that's a thing that you have to think about and not reply
Yeah,
right
I've thought
away.
about it plenty.
Think about what I just said, okay?
Yeah.
The rotation...
Okay, do you want me to think about what you just said? I've got a perfect response to what you just said. Do you want to say it again?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Go on, just say it once more.
Yeah. So, according to the heliocentric model, every star is a sun with its own path. And our star is the sun. So, all the movement that we've been told, the Earth spins on its axis, rotates around the sun, and the sun is still in dispute. You said we don't know if the sun rotates around the great attractor. Maybe, and
the sun rotates around the galaxy, and the galaxy might be pulled towards the great attractor. So get it right.
The center of the galaxy, which is the great attractor, right?
No, the center of the galaxy is not the great attractor. The center of the galaxy is a supermassive black hole called Sagittarius A.
Okay, so you're saying the great attractor is not the center of the galaxy?
No, it's not. I don't know where you got that from.
Okay, maybe.
The great attractor is what is hypothesized to be pulling our entire local group of galaxies towards a large congregation of galaxies a bit further away.
Okay, I'll have to look it up, but I thought it was the great, but that's not the point. Okay?
No, you didn't think.
So all those movements, and let's not forget the spin on their axis, everything spins, and the rotation, and all that shooting from a Big Bang. Don't reply right away. Don't reply now. Reply next week about that and think about it.
Is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard. At no point in your rambling, incoherent response were you even close to anything that could be considered a rational thought. Everyone in this room is now dumber for having listened to it.
That describes what you just said perfectly. Yeah. So everything you've just said was dumb as fuck. I don't know how many times I have to say this, but all of the stars that you see in the night sky are maintaining their relative positions to us and moving around the center of the galaxy with us. Our own rotation... Wait, let me finish. Our own rotation around our own star is so slight compared to the distances that the other stars are away that we don't really notice a difference, except for the fact that we see different night skies 6 months apart. The actual parallax change is very, very slight, but you can actually use that parallax difference from being one side of the star and the sun and the other to calculate the distance that other stars are away, which was an early method of doing it. So again, what you are saying, all of the stars that we see doing what they do, matches what the heliocentric model says. What you are doing now is called personal incredulity. I asked for evidence that the Earth doesn't rotate. I can present measurements that it does. Empirical, repeatable, scientific measurements that the Earth rotates how much we say it does. You say the Earth doesn't rotate. Yeah, so Earth says, you say the Earth doesn't rotate, so you need to provide evidence for your claim. Because I can provide evidence for my claim. Now it's your turn to provide evidence. Yeah.
You keep saying that? I'd like to see some evidence.
Well, I showed you the pendulum last time. There's that. Literally
it's a swing, Craig.
Yeah, and it literally measures the Earth rotation. It literally measures the rotation of the Earth. Okay. There's also many other ways that we can measure the rotation of the Earth. I don't know. We could ask a flat earther to measure the rotation of the Earth.
If the Earth is spinning at one rotation every 24 hours, that means that every hour it has to turn 15 degrees. And if the gyroscope is mounted anywhere on Earth, it's going to drift. In today's 21st century navigation systems, they're using what's called a ring laser gyroscope. It is extremely precise. If we could simply get one of these ring laser gyroscopes, we would be able to prove once and for all that there is no rotation to the Earth. One of the people in the community actually purchased one for $20,000. But what we found is when we turned on that gyroscope, we found that we were picking up a drift.
How much, Bob?
A 15-degree-per-hour drift.
Oh, thanks for that, Bob. Thanks very much. So yeah,
Craig,
but every single. I haven't finished. I haven't finished. I have not finished. I have not finished.
No, you keep playing that clip.
Yeah, I haven't. You're still talking when I haven't finished. Yeah, you're still talking when I haven't finished. You're still talking when I haven't finished. No, you're still talking. Still talking. I haven't finished. I'm talking right now. What Bob did was use a fiber optic gyroscope to measure the rotation of the Earth. The same instrument that is millions of them around the world that all measure the rotation of the Earth. Pilots use them to be able to fly based on them measuring the rotation of the Earth. They measure the rotation of the Earth just like the pendulum experiment I showed you measures the rotation of the Earth. But that's not it, all right? I want you to bear with me for 1 minute, because that is a fiber optic gyro, uses light. Some flat earthers complain about that. So what they did was they asked another flat earther to build a mechanical gyroscope.
You're going to play generalism now. The same clip over
No, I'm
and
not
over
going to
again.
play Jeranism. It was Bob and friends that asked another flat earther to build a mechanical gyroscope to measure the rotation of the Earth. And I should have that video here. 1 sec.
Don't play a video that I already seen.
You wouldn't have seen this one, so I seem to have lost the bloody video though. Where is it? Sorry, give me 1 sec. I thought I had it here. Oh, where'd it go? I had to remove some.
Can I comment? Can I comment the Bob Noddle video first?
You can, yeah. I don't know how you're going to debunk an observation that's repeated all over the world, but go ahead. Because
you know Bob Noddle is a shield, okay? He acts
so that's called a no Scotsman fallacy. A no true Scotsman. That's called the no true Scotsman fallacy. He's not a real flat earther because I don't like what he said. He must be a shill.
No. Are you aware of the, how you say that in English? In French, we say agent provocateur, provocateur agent. You know when there's a riot, there's provocateur agent.
Any evidence of this? Or is it just another claim? What? You don't like what Bob said, therefore he's a shill. Here we go.
I can
This is the mechanical gyroscope. I do have video. I just couldn't find it. So, what they did was, because people were complaining about the fiber optic gyroscope, they asked a flat earther to build a mechanical gyroscope, and he did. He built this mechanical gyroscope, which was sensitive enough that if the Earth was rotating, this would also be able to measure the rotation of the Earth. And when they turned it on, do you know what happened? It happened to measure the rotation of the Earth at exactly the amount predicted. They'd done many experiments with it, and it, no matter how much he changed the settings, it always measured the rotation of the Earth. And do you know what Bob Nadell and Jeranism did? They tried to sue him. They tried to stop this video being released because it disproved the Earth being stationary. This is a mechanical, physical gyroscope which reacts in a certain way, and it measured that the Earth is rotating the exact way that it is supposed to. They changed the axis of its orientation to try and get different readings, and every time it measured the rotation of the Earth. This entire video is available on my G drive because I know they tried to get it removed everywhere, and they succeeded in a lot of places. But this mechanical gyroscope, that the apparent shill that you're talking about tried to get hidden, also shows the rotation of the Earth. Why would a shill try to hide this if it shows the rotation of the Earth?
Well, I'm going to come back with when you came with your pendulum example.
Are you just going to ignore the gyroscopes that I've just gone through?
Okay, are you going to let me talk? Because I can raise.
It would be nice. It would be nice if you responded to the evidence I've just brought up.
I'm going to talk about this and the pendulum. Because
all right, let's go with the pendulum first. I've just agreed with you. Let's go with the pendulum first. So go on. Tell me what's wrong with the pendulum and how it measures the Earth's rotation. Over to you.
Yeah, the pendulum, it's a swing, that swing, okay? Your gyroscope, it's a gyroscope that measure, okay? It capture a drift. Wouldn't it be easier to see the Earth rotating? You believe in space travel, right? Which is going to be our topic next week, eh? Space travel and space agency.
Yeah,
so
we've seen the Earth rotate.
You believe in spaceship technology, right? We have spaceship and we can go to space and to the moon.
Yeah, all the time.
And blah, blah, blah. It's all fact, eh? We can go to the moon. So, if we can go to the moon and to space and blah, 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 why don't we look at the Earth rotating and calculate it?
Yeah, it's been done lots of times.
We need a wing and a gyroscope here on Earth. Why don't we go to space and look at it?
We've done that lots of times.
We've done that. Why don't we have a camera on the moon instead of the fireplace? I don't know if you have that in Scotland.
Yeah, they didn't leave a camera on the moon because they didn't really have the technology for it to work. But there's plenty of cameras in space. They are going back in 2025. There's plenty of cameras in space that show the rotation of the Earth.
If they put a rover on Mars, why they don't put a camera that points on the Earth on the moon?
They had plenty of cameras that were pretty far away showing the Earth rotating. Just because there isn't one on the moon doesn't mean anything. Here is a camera showing the Earth spinning from space. Ready? Here we go. Let me get that up full screen for you. Well, you'd have to show how it's not. This is Himawari 8 showing real-time data. It's in geosynchronous orbit above Australia.
Oh my God, Craig! Seriously?
What? Are you just going to claim fake? Are you just going to claim fake with no evidence?
Are you going to claim real?
Yes, absolutely, because this is real. And the channel Wade's Underworld has actually demonstrated this is real by comparing the real-time data with weather patterns in Australia where he lives. In 2017, this exact camera was used to spot a wildfire in Mongolia on the border of China up in the top left there, which would have gone unnoticed. Which would have gone unnoticed otherwise, and managed to save an entire village because of it. This is what most of this side of the Earth uses as main data for weather patterns and stuff.
Put it back. The more I look at it, the more I think it's fake. Look, okay.
What evidence do you have that it's fake?
Listen to me, okay? Look at it when I'm talking, okay?
Yeah, I am looking. What evidence? Tell me what evidence you've got that it's fake.
Look at it and listen.
Tell me what evidence you have that it's fake.
Okay? Look at it and listen. You see the line, okay? It's what divides day and night, okay?
The Terminator line, yes.
Look at, okay, yeah. Look at the clouds. You think clouds stay a long time like that at the same spot?
Yes.
Look at the clouds.
They're moving very far.
They're transforming.
Those clouds are moving pretty damn far, exactly as we would expect them to over that amount of time.
Nothing to do with reality.
This is actual reality. The clouds are moving the amount we expect them to.
Oh, no.
Oh, no. Yes.
Can say that. Oh, no.
This is a real thing. You can't just deny it. Wait, you cannot just deny it. I don't care about your pathetic denial. This is reality. It matches reality.
Okay.
Those cloud patterns are what we observe in real life.
Wow. Okay, leave it on the screen and Look at the clouds. They're transforming and they stay at the same.
They're doing
spot.
exactly
They
what they're
don't move.
expected to.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, you're a clown. You're a goddamn clown if you
But
think that's
again,
real.
these
Look
cloud
at it,
patterns,
just look at it,
Kevin,
it's a
Kevin, shut
cartoon.
up 1 second. These cloud patterns are what they use for real-time weather data. This matches reality because you can actually go and check that this is what the clouds look like.
Yeah. Yeah, they don't move. They just transform and they stay at the
They
same
are
spot all the
moving.
time.
Look
That's
at
what-
this. Look at this
that's
cloud. Right. Then you're saying they're not moving, right? We're going to watch this this cloud here. Look how it's coming all the way down
Yeah.
here. Right, it's now going all.
Transforming. Craig, it's transforming.
Yeah, because clouds morph and change. Do you think clouds just are like, you know, one block that stays the same?
Look at it. Look at it.
Again, Kevin, this
they're
is
not-
what they use
they're
for
not
real
moving.
time.
Look,
Kevin,
this
listen.
is
No,
the
you need to
Earth
shut up and
that
listen,
we're
Kevin. Kevin, this is what they use for real time data of actual clouds.
Yeah?
This is what you would see in
Yeah?
real life if you looked up. It is what is used
What?
worldwide for the real time data.
Look at it.
Yes, I'm looking
Make
at
it-
it.
make
It
it turn.
looks real.
Make it good. Yeah, so real. Wow. Look
What
at
evidence do
the
you have?
cloud.
Right,
This
okay.
is the-
What evidence do you have that
The
this isn't
line
real?
that you
Shut
see-
up, I'm talking.
the line
What
that you
evidence?
see-
Kevin, shh.
Yeah.
Kevin, shh. What evidence do you have that this isn't real? Present evidence apart from your own incredulity about how cloud
No.
patterns work.
I'm telling you.
I don't
keep
care what you're telling me, present
everybody can
evidence.
see that. Everybody can follow the line that divides the day and night and
Yep.
spot the cloud, and it never moves. It stays there.
The
It's
clouds
just
are moving quite a
transforming.
lot.
That's all fake. That's all fake.
Except it matches
Yeah,
real-time
you
weather
see that?
data. How can it be
You
fake if it
see
matches
what I
real-time
see?
weather data? How can it be fake if
What?
it matches real-time weather data?
Whenever it matches, it's fake. This is fake.
So you're
This is
saying
fake.
real-time weather data is fake?
No, I'm saying your image that you're showing me there is fake because of the cloud. They're
Except the
not
clouds
moving,
match
they're
real-time
transforming.
weather data. Right,
Man.
Kevin, listen to the words that are coming out of my mouth. The clouds here match real-time weather data. This is
Yeah.
what was seen
Yeah, they
in
do.
real
Okay.
life. All right?
Hey, we all can see that, man.
Yeah, again, it was what was seen in real life. These cloud patterns match real-time weather data in reality. So how can they be fake
Hey.
if they match what was seen in reality?
What was the name of your rugby team already?
Anyway, so what is the evidence that this is fake?
Hey, we all look at it and we see that it's fake. If anyone
What evidence
says
do you have that
it's
it's fake?
real-
Kevin, present evidence or your claim is dismissed. What evidence do you have that it's
Hey,
fake?
man, I keep telling you, look at it.
Yeah,
This
and
is
it
the
matches
line that
real-time weather
divides day
data, so it's real.
and night, and look at the cloud. They're
Kevin,
they stay
are
on the
you-
same spot.
do you have a
They
goldfish
just
memory?
Transform.
Kevin, do you have a goldfish
What?
memory? Do you have a goldfish memory? I've just told you it matches real-time weather data that is observed in reality. So how can it be fake if it matches
Good
what is
for
in
you, man.
reality?
We don't see that it's fake. Good
Kevin,
for you. It matches.
listen,
we see that it's
listen
fake.
to the words and answer the question. How can it be fake if it matches reality? That is what we actually see the clouds doing in reality. So how can it be fake?
Transforming, okay? Okay, tomorrow I'm gonna spot my P900 on a cloud, okay? And I'm gonna see if it's transforming like that and just stay at the same spot. Just
Well, they don't stay at the
transforming.
same spot. They travel across the entirety of Australia throughout the day.
Yeah. And that's not what we see on your picture.
Yes, it is. You can literally see the clouds moving across Australia.
They transform, Craig.
Yeah, because clouds do that.
Look, as compared to the line that divides day and night, you can figure out the time lapse of the cloud being there.
Your
fast
incredulity
enough.
is irrelevant because this is what happened in reality.
Hey,
Reality, Kevin. Listen, no,
Hey,
shut
man.
up. Listen.
yeah,
No,
yeah.
shut up. Listen. This is what matched reality in the real world. This is what was observed in the
Craig.
real world. So if this is what I'm showing you is also what was seen in real life, on what basis do you have to say it's fake?
Okay, be a good boy or Santa won't come to see you this year. This is as fake as Santa, man. If you believe it's
so you don't have any evidence, so you're just going to claim fake with no evidence. Brilliant, right? So your claim is now dismissed. Hitchens Razor says that Hitchens Razor says that any evidence presented, any claim made without evidence can be dismissed without evidence. Your claim is now dismissed, right? So we're going to go back to you once again, and we're going to ask you for evidence that the Earth is stationary. I'm going to ask you a very specific question. Can you present me a measurement that says the Earth is stationary?
Well, I can see that it doesn't move according to the
No. I asked for a measurement, very specific thing. Do you have a measurement that the Earth is stationary?
Yeah, measurement is your thing. Measurement is your thing. Okay?
It's reality. That's how we determine if things are moving. We measure them.
Hey, you always bring up Bob Noodle and Gyronism.
Yeah, because they measured the Earth's curve and rotation.
That were in the mockumentary for Netflix.
Yeah, again, no true Scotsman fallacy. You're avoiding the question. Kevin, you're running away from the question. You're running away from the question. The question was, can you... Yes, you are. Yes, you are. The question... let me ask the question again. Let me ask the question again. Let me ask the question again, Kevin. I'm going to ask the question once more, and we're going to see if you run away from it. I'm
gone.
Right, so can you please present me if you're going to run away because I asked for measurements of the Earth's rotation. So you can't present measurement of the Earth's rotation is what you're saying.
You can't provide the measurement from the Earth's rotation because...
No, I can. I'm asking you to say if you can provide a measurement of it being stationary. Can you?
No. You can't present measurement of the rotation because...
I presented two today already. But no, I presented three. I presented three measurements of the Earth's rotation so far.
No, you presented a mockumentary made
genetic fallacy.
No,
not until you present measurements of the Earth being stationary.
You didn't present any evidence.
I presented three measurements of the Earth's rotating. Three. No, three. I presented three measurements of the Earth's rotation. I presented three.
Okay, you want to keep repeating the same thing and
yes, until you answer the question, yes. Can you please provide me with a measurement of the Earth being stationary, yes or no?
You're a clown.
Why? Because I've got measurements and you don't. Because I've got measurements and you don't.
Listen to me. Listen to me.
Yeah, I'll listen to you once you provide a measurement of the Earth rotating. Off you go.
Next time you interrupt me,
you're going to rage quit, yeah.
I leave.
Okay, that's fine. I'll get a rage quit out of you. That's brilliant.
Look, man, okay? You're warned now.
Yeah, cool, brilliant. So present evidence of your claim.
Mute yourself.
No. And not until you answer the question. The question is, can you present measurements of the Earth being stationary? Why is that question triggering you so much? Why is that question triggering you so much? Why is that question triggering you?
What's triggering me is I can't answer.
Yeah, because you're not answering the question that I'm asking you. You're trying to avoid the question. You're running so fast, there's a Kevin-shaped hole in your wall.
I'm going somewhere with it, but you won't let me talk.
So, will you present evidence of the Earth rotating, yes or no?
Afraid of letting me answer. Why are you so
you're not answering my question though, Kevin, are you?
I'm trying.
Alright, okay, right. The question is, can you present a measurement of the Earth not rotating? Go on then.
You're going to repeat the question again. Okay, bye. Have a nice evening, man.
So you can't present evidence of the Earth being stationary?
What?
I'm waiting for you to answer the question of, can you present a measurement of the Earth being stationary?
Okay. When you ask a question and you want someone to answer, you shut your big mouth, man.
Yeah, well, go ahead then. Try and answer the question. Off you go.
Okay. So, you didn't provide any evidence, okay? What you provided... Are you going to interrupt me again? Okay, you didn't provide any evidence. What you provided, okay, it's from a mockumentary, okay, made on Netflix for Mr. Everybody, okay, not for people who are into flat Earth and ball Earth, okay? It's for Mr. Everybody, okay, to prevent them from looking into the flat Earth topic, just like the Flat Earth Society. You know what the Flat Earth Society is. What makes you laugh?
Oh, that you're not providing a measurement of the Earth being stationary. That was the question.
Well, you're not providing measurement too. That's
I provided three. I provided three. So.
No, that's what I'm saying. Were you listening?
Yeah, you saying that it's on Netflix doesn't change the fact that it's still a measurement.
Yeah, that movie was made to prevent Mr. Everybody, okay, someone that didn't look into Flat Earth, just me in 2015, okay, when Flat Earth wasn't a thing for me, okay? Flat Earth for me, I discovered it in 2016, okay?
Okay, can I respond to that?
That's the purpose. Yeah, that's the purpose. No, just a second. That's the purpose of that movie, Behind the Curve. It's because it's on Netflix. Everybody watch Netflix. Oh, Behind the Curve. Oh, yeah, it's about that thing, Flat Earth. And then they see it. Oh, look at the Flat Earther. They disprove the Flat Earth. And they're not going to look into it. You understand that? That's what it is. And why did they put Nathan Thompson in it? Nathan Thompson, I don't believe he's a shill, okay? I believe he's a real Flat Earther. But
he's dumb as fuck.
Why did they put him there? Okay, he says the periodic tables, okay, the chemical things there, okay, and he bounces a ball on a maillet.
Yes, he does. He does.
I don't think that makes him look hot, cool, or intelligent, or I don't think he should do that. He should do that with friends, okay, not on a YouTube video, okay. And oh my god.
Sorry, it's just memes about Nathan. Whenever someone mentions Nathan Thompson on the channel, we have to put out the memes about him.
Yeah, because they put him in the movie because he looks stupid when he does that.
Do you know when he also looked stupid was when he wore a duck suit.
What?
Did you see when he wore a duck suit?
When he wears what?
He wore a duck suit because someone fooled him into thinking that he had to wear a duck suit to perform this experiment. Nathan Thompson's dumb as fuck.
Well,
right, so I would like to respond briefly to your rant about the Netflix show. Who cares that it was on Netflix? Who cares who made it? Who cares for what purpose? What's important is the information inside of it. And the information inside of it shows that Bob Nadell and his team of flat earthers over at Globebusters measured the rotation of the Earth. What you have done is you performed two fallacies. Wait, I'm responding. What you've done is perform two fallacies, right? You performed the genetic fallacy by attacking the source of the information instead of the actual information, and you have performed the fallacy called the no true Scotsman fallacy by going, he's not a flat earther, he's not a real flat earther like the rest of us, how dare he try and say he's a flat earther. Two fallacies in one argument. Good job. It doesn't matter where it was shown. It was actually designed as a documentary about flat earthers, but turned into a documentary because they're so stupid. What's important is that Bob Nadell used something that is known to measure the Earth's rotation to measure the Earth's rotation. And I have a video of him from a private stream he did with Nathan Thompson, turning on that gyroscope when it's sitting on the desk in front of him and still measuring the Earth's rotation. So it doesn't matter that it was on Netflix, because I've also got it not being on Netflix. Okay?
And because of that, you think we live in a spinning ball?
It measured the Earth's rotation, so we would need an explanation for it otherwise, yes.
Every star is a sun with its own path and planets and moon.
Correct,
and
yes.
Everything rotates and
Your ignorance and incredulity is not an argument against things.
Okay, so you believe in that. So, I don't believe in that.
I don't care what you believe. Belief is irrelevant. Evidence is king. Well, so you can't. You totally failed to provide. Wait. So you totally failed to provide a measurement of the Earth being stationary. Let's move to the next question.
When I asked you the other day, why are you targeting flat Earth? And you came up with the big speech, the flat Earth kills.
Yeah, absolutely it does.
Killed. Okay, and I asked you, why don't you fight God then? Because
I attack plenty of stuff. I attack plenty of religious stuff. That's fine.
What killed more throughout history and still killing more, flat Earth or religions?
Yeah, I debunk flat Earth because I use science for that, but I do also go and argue with people about God.
Why do you
Are you
care
listening?
so much what
Are you
others
listening?
think?
I do go and do that, but flat Earth is
Flat Earth
hilarious.
doesn't kill.
Flat Earth does
Okay.
kill. Literally
Well,
killed someone.
Well, oh yeah, it kills. It kills. More than religion, eh?
I didn't say it does. That's a nice straw man. I also go and argue with religious people. It's irrelevant to this conversation. Right. Let's move on to the next question. So
That's very relevant.
Yeah. So you
Yeah,
failed
okay.
to provide a measurement to back up your claim of the Earth being stationary. So the next question is, can you provide me with any citation or experiment that would suggest the Earth is stationary?
Citation or experiment? Well,
Yes.
There's a lot of them that I've seen, like the Michelson-Morley or whatever.
That didn't show the Earth is stationary.
Okay, look. I've seen all the, the Aries failure and the
Also didn't show the Earth is stationary.
First of all, the Foucault pendulum, it's a proven forgery.
No, it's not.
It's not you believe in the Foucault pendulum? What else?
I performed the experiment myself, yes.
Oh, you believe in the Cavendish experiment too?
I've also performed that myself, yes.
Hey, if you perform the experiment yourself, why are you showing someone else's experiment?
Because I don't have a video of mine.
You didn't perform that experiment. And
everyone does this experiment in a physics degree. Literally everybody.
Yeah. That's it. Why are you showing someone else's?
Because I don't have a record of what I did during my physics degree. I didn't record everything.
Like there's no record of you being a pro mountain biker on the internet.
I mean, there's plenty of records that my mum's got all the pictures of, but again, your incredulity about somebody being successful in life is also irrelevant to this conversation. So this is what I'm showing you now is a literal measurement of the Earth's rotation. Yeah, I did a few. Yeah.
Ran marathon.
Yeah.
And your first
Anyway,
marathon,
your incredulity about someone being successful in life is irrelevant. So anyway, back to the conversation about the Earth's rotation, which you seem to be trying to avoid at all costs. Kevin, why are you trying to avoid the conversation about the rotation of the Earth at all costs?
I'm not trying to. I'm just having a
right.
conversation.
Okay, so let's go back to it. The first thing you said there was the Michelson-Morley experiment. So wait. I mean, I'm not a liar, but anyway. So the first thing you said there, Kevin. Let's stick to the conversation about the rotation of Earth. Kevin, deep breath.
Why can't I find a record of yourself as a pro mountain biker on the internet?
Deep breath, Kevin. All right. So the first thing you said there was the Michelson-Morley experiment. Could you please tell me what the Michelson-Morley experiment was and how it showed the Earth does not rotate?
Okay, we all know those experiments. Okay, there you're gonna say, oh, it's because there was no ether after all, and Einstein abolished the ether.
Yeah, I asked you a specific question. Could you please tell us what the Michelson-Morley experiment... Wait, let me finish. Could you please tell us... Let me finish. Let me finish. All right, I'll mute you for a sec while I ask the question, and then I'll unmute you and allow you to answer the question, okay? Right, you're muted right now. The question is, can you please describe what the Michelson-Morley experiment was and how it determined that the Earth was stationary? Over to you.
Oh my God. You know the Michelson-Morley experiment. You want to
know I know what it is. I'm asking you to explain it.
Yeah, Google it. I Googled it.
Yeah, I also Google what shape the Earth is. And it says the Earth's a globe.
Google it, and now you're gonna say it's because we were assuming there was a heater. But
that's what it says when you Google it. Yes. That's what it says when you Google it. But your claim, Kevin, your claim was that it shows the Earth doesn't rotate. So can you please tell us how the Michelson-Morley experiment...
I know what the Michelson-Morley experiment is.
Then tell us what it is. I'd like you to explain it to us and how it determined that the Earth was stationary.
By saying it, I know. So if you want to know more, Google it.
You don't know what the Michelson-Morley experiment was, do you? You've no idea.
Oh my God, that tabarnak, t'es un esti de cave, man, je déconne.
Yeah, so please can you tell us how the Michelson-Morley experiment determined the Earth was stationary?
Hey, with what I told you, you know I understand the Michelson-Morley
No, you
experiment.
don't, because you can't answer the question.
Many times. So if you want to know more, Google.
No, I'm asking
And
for
if you
your
don't
determination
know
of how the Michelson-Morley experiment showed that we aren't moving. Can you please explain how the Michelson-Morley experiment came to that
You
conclusion?
know the Michelson-Morley experiment.
You don't.
What do you want me to
You don't
do?
even know what it was, do
You
you?
want me to fuck up? You want me to fuck up and say, ha ha, you fuck up. That's your style.
No, I want
okay?
you to
know
explain
the
your
Michelson-Morley-
claim.
You know there is failure, and you know the Foucault pendulum, the swing. We all know those experiments. We're into those flat Earth globe debates. So why are you asking me that? Why? I'm gonna
Because
tell
you
why.
just made the claim. You
you
made the
want
claim.
me to fuck
You make a
up.
claim, you back up your
You
claim.
want me to fuck up, and then you're gonna say, ha ha, you fuck up. Okay.
Do
We
your
all
research.
know
Go on
the
Google.
Michelson-Morley.
Brilliant. Right, so Kevin,
Yeah,
you made the claim
Google.
you made the claim that the Michelson-Morley experiment shows that the Earth doesn't move. That was
Hey,
your claim,
I've
right?
been here-
I don't care what
I've been
Google
here
says.
for
It was
almost-
your claim. So please back up your claim by telling us how the conclusions of the Michelson-Morley experiment determined the Earth to be stationary.
Okay, back up your claim that the Earth is rotating.
I've shown 3 experiments so far.
Your
Yeah.
pendulum, eh? That doesn't make any sense.
Reversal
That's not
of burden
science,
there. It is
man.
lovely.
Swing, it's not science. It's not science.
I mean, it
Swing.
matches the scientific method exactly, but you know.
Oh, it matches the scientific method. I have degrees. Oh, ha, ha.
Yes, it does.
The Earth is a spinning ball. The Earth
It's
is
a globe,
spinning
actually.
ball.
It's an oblate spheroid.
Why would we believe a pathological liar like yourself?
I mean, you think I'm a
who
liar,
claims
that's
you
because
was a
you're incredulous about someone being
biker?
successful early in life. It's
Yeah.
fine. But anyway,
Yeah.
back to the
Yeah.
conversation about the
Show me a
rotation of the
picture
Earth.
of you.
Right, let's move to Aries
Show me a
failure
picture
because you also
of
don't know
you
it.
riding
Wait,
a
Kevin,
mountain
Kevin,
bike.
shh. Yep, calm your tits, dude. So the next white thing you said was Aries failure. Could you please explain to us how the conclusion of Aries failure showed that the Earth doesn't rotate?
Have a nice evening, Craig.
So you're going to rage quit because you can't answer the questions?
I'm not rage quitting. I know
Yeah, you
what
are.
you're trying to do.
If you can't
You're trying to
answer
make
the
me
questions,
fuck
you're
up.
rage quitting.
Okay.
I'm just asking you to
Now,
back
are
up
you
your
gonna let me
claim.
talk?
Back up
Are
your
you
claim,
gonna let me
yes.
talk?
Yeah, it's your turn to provide evidence,
Because
yeah.
I was gonna say, okay, you asked me to name some experiments. I did.
Yeah,
I
and none of them
finished
show
my
that the
point.
Earth is stationary.
Okay, whatever. Okay.
So there's no experiments that show the Earth is stationary.
Calisse! Ça ferme pas 2 secondes!
So just to confirm, you don't have any experiments that show the Earth is stationary.
Hey man, Craig, shut the fuck up.
So just to confirm, Kevin, you don't have any experiments that show the Earth is stationary. Is that right?
Shut the fuck up. Okay? Look, you asked me to name a couple of experiments. I named a few, like, okay, we all know this and that. But me, for myself, okay, I don't need experiments. I go outside because people today,
So you like pseudoscience?
yourself, you live inside. You have your computer. Me, I go outside every day. You know what I do for a living?
I
pretty
don't
much
know,
figured
give
it
hand
out
jobs
by
at
now?
local bathrooms, I assume?
What?
Nothing, sorry.
I sent you a picture today of me working. Didn't you connect the dots? I told you I was going in tall buildings every time, and I was going in
Yeah,
mountains.
you just sent me a bunch of pictures and videos. I didn't really see what you were doing. I've no idea about your job, giving hand jobs in gas stations. I mean, that's totally your business. I really don't care what you do for a job.
No, I'm not working. I'm not staying on the ground. I'm going in tall buildings. Every tall buildings in town.
Uh-huh.
Okay?
Oh, right, you can
I
use tall
see-
buildings to debunk the flat Earth.
I see the Earth. I don't need a calculation to tell me, no.
I bet you need a
it's
calculator
not
for 1 + 1 =
rotate,
2.
And it's curved. I don't need that. I don't need that. I can see it. If you get out of your basement or your garage
I get
or
out all the
whatever
time with my
you-
family. It's fine. But anyway,
Whatever.
so back to the
No.
rotation of the Earth.
You're not getting out, and it's the problem of your room.
I know I'm out quite a lot. Again,
they're
your
all
incredulity about my life is irrelevant to this conversation.
No. Hey, no, your room, I was saying, your chat room, okay? They're all computer nerds on their computer, not going out, Not see.
They're
and
just
when they
watching
go
YouTube
out,
right now, mate. Everyone in the world watches
when
YouTube.
When they go out, they don't.
I just want to point out that none of this is evidence that the Earth is flat.
This fat guy never shut up.
Oh,
Okay?
because you are
And
not
when you
answering any
realize-
of the questions.
When you realize that the Earth is flat, okay, you.
It's
the
not.
expression,
It's been measured.
Once you go flat, you never go back. Then you're gonna tell me,
incorrect.
oh, you did this flat earther that came back. Yeah, I knew
Yeah,
it.
I've got an
But,
entire playlist on my channel of ex-flat earthers.
I just can't never finish a point with you. Never. I can't.
Well, you
Like,
say
I
if you say
talk-
something
you
false, I'm going
interrupt.
to correct you. So
I'm not saying something false.
yeah,
I'm not
you
saying
just said
something
if you go
false
flat, you
because
never
I
go
did-
back. But I've got an
I
entire.
did realize-
Kevin, hold on.
No,
Let
no,
me
no,
respond.
no.
Let me respond.
No,
Let
no,
me
no,
respond.
no, 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 no.
Let
Okay,
me
I
respond.
see how go, lo, lo, lo,
Let me respond.
Oh,
Are you going to rage quit? Are you going? Oh, brilliant. Wow. Dumpster fire, right? Got so fucking triggered because I asked him for evidence. Shut up! Stop asking me for evidence and showing me experiments! Have you got any experiments about the Earth being flat and stationary? Yes, here's some! Oh wait, they didn't show the Earth being flat and stationary. Ah, how dare you say that to me! Oh, goodness me. What a triggered little fairy, right? Oh. YKikaMooCow885, been a member for 12 months, says, Kevin is like the bad guy in horror movie. Shoot him 10 times in the head and he still comes back for more. He's got the Zoom link this time. Oh. At the moment, it's really funny. Him and his butt buddy James on Facebook, who sends me nude photos of himself for some reason. No, I'm not fucking kidding. He actually keeps sending me like pictures of him with no clothes on. They are on this thing of looking into my life and going, "Oh, you're a liar," because I played rugby, I was a runner, I did some mountain biking for Bike, the company in Bristol. It was like a semi-pro thing. I played for Navy Seconds. I was a captain of my high school rugby team. You know, just normal things as a kid. I was black belt in Shotoraya Karate by the time I was 14. You know, I performed in pantos, just general things that I do in my life. You know, I worked hard and like to succeed at things. And he's like, "Oh, how can you be this? Blah, 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 you and you were in the Navy. Oh, I don't believe any of it." Excuse me. And that's it. That's what they've got. Just arguing with me. He says it's impossible to have a conversation with you. Says the guy that won't shut up and answer a question. Come back. Same link. So yeah, his entire thing at the moment is going, "I don't believe that you were blah, blah, blah. Oh, you were in the Navy? Oh, I don't believe you were in the Navy." And showed him my discharge papers and, "Oh, yeah, you know, I just don't believe that you were successful. Oh, what are you, Superman?" I'm like, "No, I just was a normal kind of kid that worked hard at doing everything I did." And that's it. He's totally incredulous that I did a lot of things when I was successful in life. You know, I told him about my time working for a wind farm company and built, you know, was responsible for a lot of the wind farms. You haven't answered. Come back. I'll ask a question and you answer. Okay? He said, "You don't shut up and let me answer." I've literally tried it to get you to answer. Come back. I'll ask a question and you answer the question. Okay? Please take Discord DMs. Look at my pecker. Look at it. No, no, General Shady. I don't want to. It's not what you think, guys. Don't worry. I don't think he's coming back. He's probably far too scared. If he does come back, I will ask him the litmus questions and see what happens there. But I've literally been messaging him all week. Come and present evidence of the Earth being stationary. You know, I've told him over and over that's what this was about. Evidence. Did he bring evidence? I'm going to end the poll. The poll was, I've demanded evidence that Earth isn't rotating, gravity is not real. Will I get any? 5% of 708 voted yes. What the fuck's wrong with you people? That's like 35 people. 28% voted no. 67% voted don't be fucking dumb, Craig. Eric Vox in the chat says, if you debated any flat earth in person, would you, or do you prefer if they can rage quit? I'd debate a flat earther in person. I probably need security because they don't seem to like me very much. If you just joined, I am sorry about the state of the room. We had all our windows and everything replaced over the past couple of days, and we're still waiting for the decorators to come out and finish off the job, putting the curtains back up and painting the frames and stuff, so it looks a bit strange. I do apologise. Oh my god. I'll message him once more, see if he comes back. Come back. I'll ask a question. And you answer. Okay? He gets so angry, it's fucking hilarious. BCFC Ireland, I like you, FTA, that's why I'm here. I like you too, thank you very much. Let's read the super chats and see if he decides to come back. If not, that's probably enough fun for tonight. I've been quite loud. Been my wife's birthday today, so I've been looking after her, making her nice and relaxed, made her a steak dinner, and I'm probably keeping her awake right now, ruining the end of her night. Waikikamuka 855, $5 Australian. That's great, Kevin, but Wayne Gretzky was overrated. He kept messaging me asking if, no, that was James actually. Are you what? No, it was him. Are you watching the Super Bowl? No. I'm British and, you know, yay, sports ball. Calypsis, $2. Kevin is calm today. He must have taken his Prozac. That must have been before I asked him for evidence and it made him really angry. Sigma Step, $25 says, I've been negligent regarding memberships and super chats lately. Thanks for everything, Craig. You're awesome. I don't care what everybody else says. Thanks, dude. I think. Backhanded. I love you, dude. Thank you. Dave Q, $20 with no message. Thank you very much, Dave. NA $6.66 says, was that a can of Dr. Pepper? Hail Satan. Yes, it was. I do like a Dr. Pepper every now and then. But it's the tequila I've needed. In fact, you know, I might need another swig after all that. S. Aston says, which Flerf converting would surprise you the most? Sleeping Warrior. He is so far into his own lies, he could never stop the flat earth. But Raichi, many people disagree with me, but Raichi's coming back. Within 2 weeks, I will have her on my channel with an ex-flat earther interview. Unlocked is right. Slap that like button like it's a flat earther, guys.
No.
Shut up, Del. Mr. Unite for the Children, $5. Ask neighbour what he peer reviews for. Didn't Kevin say he's a professional peer reviewer, which doesn't exist? Yeah, apparently. Dax Marshall, $2. Hang in there, Craig. Have a bong hit. I'm going to need one after this, I tell you. Is he coming? Hey guys, how many times did he answer one of my questions? Answers in the chat. Adrenochrome Surfer says, Rachel seems so insincere though. She's been brainwashed hard, guys. Hard. Waikikamuka says, will you be doing the Oakley X-Flat Earther interview? I get like ill just thinking about being near Nathan Oakley. Oh, 0. 10 to the negative 17. Well, that means that it's not 0, Tau. So 0 times 0, you just broke the universe. Steve6464 for $5 says, Kevin, ice floats on water. How does floating ice hold back water? PCIS £5. Hi Craig, finally got to watch you live. Do you think Nintendo tried to sue him That's why he's not dressed as Mario or Luigi today. He was dressed like a cheap version of the Tracksuit Mafia. Draco Paul, $5 Canadian. Kevin's proof the earth don't move. I stick a thumbtack on the floor and it don't move. Fucking hell. His evidence was just, here's a conspiracy about nonsense and Bob Nadell being a shill. Luke Firewalker, €5. There are many satellites which captured Hunga Tonga volcano eruption, and a flat earther was still called CGI. Oh my god, how triggered did he get at Himawari and the clouds? Even though, like I was telling him, those are literally real-time weather data stuff that you can check in real life. Jake the Surgeon, $5. I'll say it again, if I showed you the skeletons of a lion and a tiger, would you know the difference just by looking at it? I wouldn't. A flat earther would just call it CGI. Quitty's the Sprinkler has been a member for fucking 26 months. That's more than twice around the sun. But Craig, look at it! That's great flerf evidence. I did look at it, and it showed the Earth rotating. Aiden's Tech, $2 Australian. Does he cringe at the weatherman on TV? Oh, I think I heard something then. Is he back? No, he's not back. We are waiting your answer to any question. Explain the MMX. Explain. I know what the MMX, the Michelson Morley experiment is, but you have to go and look on Google. Yeah, says the person doesn't know what the MMX experiment is because they said it doesn't show the Earth. It shows the Earth doesn't rotate. Eon Dust. Aiden's Tech, $2 Australian. Does he cringe at Weatherman on TV? Eon Dust for $20 Australian. Even if there ain't no measurement of a globe, that don't mean the Earth is suddenly flat, hun. But there is measurements. I showed 3 today. Bob Nadell, the mechanical gyroscope and the pendulum. But he just went, nuh-uh. S. Aston says, Green Lantern is lame, Superman is a bitch. Are you triggered? Someone please time out S. Aston. No, don't. Everyone's entitled to their opinion. Even if it's fucking wrong and stupid, you're entitled to your opinion. Forgot which ring I had my Green Lantern finger on. In brightest day, in blackest night, no evil should escape my sight. Let those who worship evil's might beware my power. Green Lantern's light. I am a nerd. Yes, very much so. Jake the Surgeon, $2. Kevin is a lemon shark. Sarah Jones, £5. No real flat earthers are real. They are just CGI. I love the no true Scotsman fallacy when they try and pull that. Everyone that disagrees with me is not a real flat earther. Yeah, Richard Eagley, that's right, he says, I have proof, do your own research. Well, I know. Well, how about, because he was going on about Google, right? So, let's go to Google quickly, shall we? Alright, we'll go to Google, google.com, and we're going to type in a question in Google, as Kevin trusts Google so much. What shape is the Earth? The Earth is roughly a sphere. Oh, right, okay. That's weird because he asked me to go and look at Google and it... computer? What shape is the Earth?
The shape of the Earth resembles a sphere, one that has been compressed at the poles and bulges outwards at the...
Yeah, she says a sphere as well. That's weird. Weird that I went to his citation and they said the Earth's a sphere, right? Zoomy giving the Yellow Lantern motto there. In blackest day, in brightest night, beware your fears made into light, that those who try to stop what's right burn like his powers, Sinestro's might. Sinestro is a bitch. Rory Stegall for $2. Kevin's arguments are bad and he should feel bad. Jake the Surgeon, $5. Did you have that second debate with Gleason yet, or did he run away? No, he's blocked. You know, he ran away. He refuses to set a date for the debate. Says that he debunked me by looking at birds in the photo, even though they weren't what we were looking at. And there's definitely an Antarctic patrol with all the military that shoot you if you go near it. And unless I admit that, he won't come back on. Mr. QTube, first name Fa, for $5. Kevin drives a Dodge Dart and the license plate is ID-10T. Idiot. Monkey Cat Pat, my favourite name, $5. Here's $5 you can give to Kevin if he can answer just one question. Any question. One of the super chats is for you if you can answer a question. He won't come back. Technomancer made just $5. With all of this, with all of his, I know that you know he's about 5 seconds away from flipping your drinks so you can drink the low-cane powder. Aiden's Tech for $2 Australian. How can someone indirectly answer a question? He does not understand how conversations work, just like all flat earthers. Just make sure I haven't missed any. Sigma Step, $5. I hate to say this, but Rachie is better than Kevin. Rachie's coming back, guys. I'm telling you right now. Rachie, if you're watching this, we can book 2 Fridays from today for your ex-Flat Earther interview, okay? In fact, could someone clip this? Hey, Rachie, I invite you onto my channel 2 Fridays from today to come and do your ex-Flat Earther interview. Welcome back to the globe. Please clip that and send it to Rachie. Aiden's Tech, $2 Australian. Nah, I'm on my Samsung smart fridge. Juicy 1980, $5 Australian. When I tuned into this debate, I was picking up a drift. A loss of 15 IQ points per hour drift. I am sorry that watching my debates will cause you so much loss of brain power. But I did in the chat give a very specific mention to activate your facepalm protection before it started, so there's no legal backlash on me. Please wear facepalm protection when consuming FTFE content. If you did not see my video earlier today, I killed the flat earth. It's dead. Using their own best ever proof, the sextant. It's done. I know they're going to try and say, oh, blah, 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 refract, you haven't got a flat place, blah, blah. You know, they're going to make up a bunch of nonsense to avoid the things that I brought up in my video. Also in my video, there's an offer to give a flat earther a sextant and for a flat earther to win what is now $15,000 or 0.4 Bitcoin, which MC Toon is offering and is being held in escrow on behalf of MC Toon for someone else to determine if they meet the challenge. And the challenge will basically be to use flat earth geometry and star angular elevation readings to determine your location on Earth. Flat earth geometry is fucking hilarious. Yeah, so please go and check out my video if you haven't seen it. And even more importantly, please share the video in every Facebook group, on every flat earther on Twitter. Just post it on their wall. Every street sign, just write the URL or something. Share the video. Trigger the Flerfs. Because remember, stupidity is not a right. Fight the flat earth. Good night all. I'm gonna hit a bong. Nice to see you, Rachbot. Jala Light, we're working with Bro Sanchez to get him back on. How about you come as well? Debate what about DC Austin? How they're better than Marvel? Fight the flat, fight the flat, fight. You all better be dancing right now. Thanks for watching, guys. Please go and check out my video from earlier and share it wherever you want. Everywhere. Just share it everywhere. Find Jaronism's home address and send it to him. Good night. Love you all.